Ohio Catholic schools submit the Standard School Survey, also known as the All-Inclusive Form, annually to their diocese, the Catholic Conference of Ohio, and the Ohio Catholic School Accrediting Association to ensure comprehensive data collection that supports both statewide educational improvement and public policy advocacy. This process ensures that Catholic schools maintain their charter status and meet the standards set by the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce, while also reflecting the unique mission and values of Catholic education. The 6 dioceses of Ohio and the Catholic Conference of Ohio use this aggregated school data to monitor enrollment trends, especially among underserved populations, track participation in state scholarship programs like EdChoice, Autism, and the John Peterson Special Needs Scholarship. It is also used to advocate for equitable funding and support for chartered non-public schools. Thank you for taking the time to complete the Standard School Survey. The all-inclusive form is an Excel spreadsheet that will need to be saved to your desktop and renamed using your school name and current year. You may not use Google Sheets or Google Drive. It will need to be exported and shared via an Excel file. You will be using the state's official count week, typically the first full week in October, to complete this form. There are 3 bottom tabs. The only tab you will be entering data into is the Master tab. I recommend having open this sheet alongside the all-inclusive form guidelines as you go through the form. You'll notice there are white boxes. These are the only boxes that you will be entering data into. The top portion is school information. Here, you will be indicating a 1 in one of these 4 boxes. If you are an urban school, you will put a 1 here. Same with school sponsorship. Pick one box and put a 1, and also with how the gender makeup is of your school. You will type and use text to type in the county, public school district, and IRN number. You will also type the OCSAA school name and the ODEW school name. You can refer to the OCSAA web portal to see what that name is, as well as your OHID account to see what the official school name is. I have opened the elementary Excel file. There is also a secondary or mixed file. For this one, you will put a 1 if you are pre-K only. Everybody else will do elementary. This is pretty much the only part of the file that looks a little bit different for secondary. Moving on to staff and salary statistics. This is for professional staff salary range. If you refer to your guidelines on the very last page, you will see what type of employees are professional, such as administrators and teachers, versus support, such as administrative assistants and admissions staff. Next, you will type in the numbers of employees by type, full-time, part-time, male, religious, etc., as well as for degree and experience. Again, in the white cells, you are typing in numbers of staff at each salary range and for each category. Do not forget to put in the total number of regular licenses versus the total number of non-tax licenses. You'll notice as you work, the gray boxes should automatically populate. Now moving on to more demographics for both professional and support staff. Again, you're putting in numbers for each row. And then moving on to enrollment statistics for the students. SACC refers to school-age childcare. This would be before school care and after school care. If you do not have a 3s program, you can leave that blank. Same with the 4s program. Moving on to K through 8. Again, this is the elementary form. The secondary form will have 5 through 12. You are putting in your statistics for Catholic, male, female, and whether or not you have out of state. Moving on to ethnic distribution for Catholic students, you are putting in numbers of each grade level for each demographic. And the second table is for non-Catholics. The third table is capturing those preschoolers who are not a part of the K through 8. Again, this is in the elementary form. The next section is for capacity. You're putting in the total number of students that your classroom space can hold at each grade level. Annual tuition. Your school might be putting in the same numbers for each white box. That is okay. Some schools will have different tuitions for Catholic versus non-Catholic or a multi-student discount. If you are putting in the same, that is okay, but please fill in every single cell. Post-school opportunities, this is for after 8th grade. The secondary form will have after high school, and you will input numbers of students into each cell. Moving on to federal assistance. Were students eligible for Title I services last year? You will simply put a 1 in the yes if that was true. Row 236, you will use your May federal ADM count to type in the number of students that were enrolled in Title I last year. Row 237 and 238, this is the number of students who are eligible and the school provides the actual meal. Row 242 through 244, do not count student more than once. Assign that student or students to a row. Additional information, you will again be using a 1 to indicate whether the answer is yes or no in the white cell. Number of students with a diagnosed disability, you will put the total number in that white cell. This is the total number of students who were diagnosed with a disability from your public school district. They were evaluated and qualified. The last part of the form is capturing the scholarship programs. You will be entering number of students for EdChoice Expansion, Autism, and John Peterson Scholarship. Remember, you are only completing the master tab and you are only entering data into the white cells. Thank you for taking the time to complete the all-inclusive form.